back to the channel. This is Offer 1, and today I'm going to be starting an idea I had, thought it would be cool for the channel. Basically, it's going to be making a Nintendo console into a Switch dock. I thought that would be pretty neat and different. Not very practical, but a cool little piece to build and a talking piece for the house and game room. So I had bought a Nintendo console as well as Dremel and accessories for the Dremel tool to cut, tools. Also have cables here that's going to be for the project. You'll see later on how they're going to be integrated. A cutting tool. You'll see how it all comes together. If it's something you guys want to do or see more of in the channel, let me know. So for the build, I needed to pick up a Nintendo console, and I picked one here up at the local pawn shop. It was discounted, if you see there, from like 50 bucks. I think it started out at to 30. Still a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but if you have one lying around, you won't have to spend it like I did. It's a little yellow. I'm probably going to do a video later on after this build on how to de-yellow or to remove the yellow from older consoles, but that's for a later build or a later video. And the only thing that's wrong with this is this chip right here in the corner. Not a big deal, but this is what's going to cost you the most money in the project. This and also the Switch dock, and it's just a normal Switch dock. Take it apart and use it within the build. I bought this off of somebody from OfferUp, and it was $30, and it came with also the charging cable, Nintendo branded charging cable. You're gonna want to get, at least I did, I wanted to make sure I got Nintendo branded charging cable and dock because I didn't want any charging issues. If you're aware with what goes on with the charging docks and the chargers for the Switch, it can create problems for your system. I don't want a brick system, I don't want a messed up system. I just want to have a cool different dock to show off. So Nintendo branded equipment for charging and having data transfer between USBs and stuff like that. Here we also have some of the wires. There's going to be something that I thought would be necessary, possibly not. We'll see what happens in the build, but the way I want to go do this and go through with this, I believe these will be necessary. There is a male to female USB-C, and two male to female USB-A with the L connector at the end. I'm going to start taking apart all this because most of the stuff I'm not going to use. I literally only want to probably try to keep the up and down mechanism here, and I'm going to try to connect the dock basically to this mechanism, and so everything else can pretty much go. Yeah, so I'm going to try to figure this out and see exactly what can go, can stay, and go from there. One thing that's going to be the problem is the Switch itself cannot fit inside this flap here, this portion, cleanly the way I would like. So my plan was to notch out this along the line here. You see right across the top there's a line. Inside I would cut this out, notch it out all along the line so you can't really tell, and have it connected to this, either glued or something like that. And when you lift up, this black piece would lift up as well, and the dock would be under here. It would slide right on in. That's the plan. We'll see how far that goes. I'm gonna have to start taking this apart and removing everything that is completely unnecessary for the build. So some things may have to stay for structural integrity and some of the anchor points. So some stuff might have to stay, but I want to try to remove as much as I can. I have the Dremel tool, so if I have to cut along board and stuff like that none of this is going to be used. This was an NES that was not working anyway, so don't feel bad. It's just repurposing an old console for the sake of the project. And here's basically the mechanism that I want to keep for the project. This right here will hold the dock in place, hopefully, and it will retain the up and down function, hopefully, and give me the look and feel of a regular Nintendo, or original NES, but Nintendo Switch dock. I'm going to try to reuse these to hold in the USB females, so we can hook in controllers through the same front port, but connect it straight to the Switch dock. That's where these cables come into play. So hopefully with a little bit of grinding, taking out that insert inside there, the connectors in there, and replacing it with this, hopefully I won't have any trouble and it could give it a nice clean finish. So we'll work on that later. So basically what I've been noticing is that I'm going to have to start taking apart this dock and making it smaller and cutting it up a little bit, probably, if it doesn't separate where I want it to. I haven't taken apart a dock yet, so this will be my first time, but if it separates the way I'm hoping it will, then I can place it in here a lot easier and relocate the insides and the internals here to another location inside here, probably back here or up here in the front, and set my wires where I want them as we go along in the project. But the way how big this is right now is not going to fit perfectly in here, but that's why I bought this dock. This is my sacrificial dock. I'm going to start taking it apart now and seeing if I can get it to fit. So this is going to help me now relocate the that box with all the connectors somewhere else in Nintendo now that this is freed and available. And I might relocate this light to connect to the front of the Nintendo as well, so I get that light activity in front of the Nintendo. So now you can see on the bottom here I've cut a little recess out of the plastic so I can allow this strip to come out. See there? So when I put this back piece over it, which I will be cutting down as well, but I want it to be, there we go. So you see, now it's coming out the bottom of the recess there, and it's not being pinched or anything like that. It's got give. I could put the box unit that holds the USB and all that somewhere else located in the Nintendo, and I can cut this box down, this dock down, all the way down to down here, and not disrupt any of the cables or anything like that, and make it a slimmer dock so I can fit it in better into the Nintendo. So I'm going to start cutting along this line here, maybe a little lower, maybe like up to here, I'm not sure yet, and make it a lot smaller. Cut out this whole bit. Okay, now that I've shaved this down a bit and it's now smaller. I want to try to make this bracket fit over this dock. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute, but I'm basically moving these tabs over to the top of this dock so it can perform just like this did inside the cartridge mechanism that's inside the Nintendo. So I'm going to cut these brackets off and stick them to the sides of the dock. Okay, so today is the next morning from the first day of the project, and last night I did a couple things, but I couldn't record it because I don't have lights, professional lighting, so the recordings look terrible at nighttime. So I waited till the morning to show you step by step sort of what I did, and I already made the housing that's going to hold the Switch dock. If you can see here, I attached those mounts to the side here. Some finishing work needs to be done, but I put the crossbar, the metal crossbar that was across the top here, back here to extend it, because I had to cut basically the dock that's inside the Nintendo, elongate it. I put a piece here to structurally, make it wider as well as the front here. And I'll be finishing this all off, making it look better, of course, and using epoxy and all that, but this is just for mock-up. And so it'll be fitted in here. I gotta add supports. I wish I had a 3D printer, but I don't. But I want to epoxy some supports that are already in here that were being used for other screws, and I'll be epoxying them in other locations to secure this firmly. But yeah, so far so good. I have this dock here basically all set, mocked up, but I'll add the springs to the side here, and once I add the springs to the side, you'll see how it's going to work in the finished product. Right here you'll see it goes down and up, so it's going to click click and go up, click click and go down. And so it's basically there. You could get the idea of how it's going to look in the finished product. Also, what I did last night was started working on the hinge here. You can see I cut out this side over here. I also cut the black just design piece here, and so this will be cut down there, all glued together with epoxy. And so when I lift up this, the black piece will come up with it, basically. And this will be all opened and allowing for extra space for the whole Switch portion, tablet portion, to go inside, in and out without much issue. Today I hope to do a couple other things, including I want to try to make the light the light that's inside the dock, the green light, when you plug in the dock it turns on. I want that to work in the front of the Nintendo. So this light here, it's usually red. I want it to turn the green color that you see inside the dock, the Switch dock. When you plug it in and turn it on, it blinks. And also I want to start mocking up and hopefully finishing the USB ports inside the controller ports there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on today. I'll have to modify this clear crystal reflective thing to hold the green light LED. I already took out the red LED that was in it, so I had to cut it down and fit that piece in there. I think I have it over here. So this is the LED light, green LED light from the Switch, and hopefully this will be able to be put into the Nintendo console and light up where it usually lights up red. It will light up green now, signifying the dock is on and all that good stuff. So hopefully that will work. Here's the piece that it came with as well on the side of the dock. You might not be able to tell how that fits in there, but I'm gonna make it work for the Nintendo dock today, hopefully as well. So the project is coming along very well. I'm very happy with this. I wish I had a 3D printer. It would make everything so much easier, so much better, but I don't. So I'm doing what I can with what I have, but I'm very happy with what's going on so far. Okay, so what I have here is the completed product. I gotta clean it up a bit, but yeah, it took me a lot longer than I thought. I foolishly thought I could do this in a couple parts, but I did a lot of troubleshooting and a lot of times like configuring, because the ribbon strip from the dock that I took out of the dock and routed, it was still not long enough to reach the motherboard and all the USBs and to fit them in the right places. But yeah, I figured it out, and I'm just gonna show it off now. The two USBs that connect to the dock are here now in the front, and they of course connect to the dock still, and easy access there. And right here for the Nintendo, where the cartridge goes, comes up in one piece, so it allows a big enough section here to put the dock, to put the switch inside. The dock is sitting inside here. I don't know if you could tell very well with the lighting, but yeah, it goes in. Let me see. Let me show you how this goes. The switch goes all the way in, plugs in, and goes down just like a cartridge would for a Nintendo. So it has plenty of ventilation in there. If people, are wondering, there's no problem with it's going to overheat or whatnot. But yeah, so now I just got to get used to taking it in and out, but it's possible, and it works just fine. So yeah, I'm going to plug it up now, and we're going to see it work, because it'll be the first time testing it out. It should work. I did, the first time testing it out on TV, I did plug it in to the wall and made sure the light turned on, because right here in the front it would light up red, but now it lights up green because I connected the LED from the dock to this crystal that refracts now the green light, the green LED. So I did test that part out. I'm going to plug it in now. We're going to take a look at it and test it out and make sure everything works. So it didn't work. I think I know why though. It works perfectly fine. As you can see behind me, everything works. The green LED light from the switch dock has now been replaced here. Reinstalled here to the front where the red LED was for the Nintendo console, and it works fine. Everything's great. The switch is in there. Push down. I can push it down, push it, bring it back up, take it out. All that good stuff. I can leave it up or down, doesn't really matter because it's just for the show of it. But couldn't be happier with it. It took me a little bit longer than I originally wanted it to take me. It was a 2-day build. A lot of problems came in at the end. During the build, because when you do modding or something like that, like something like this, and you've never done it before, which I have never done before, you run into issues. And I foolishly thought I could do like a three episode deal on it, and I would have been able to if everything went the way I originally planned. But since there was just so much troubleshooting, I couldn't focus on one thing at a time, because that might change, or inevitably did change along the build route. So this is just going to be, when I edit it all together, just a showing of what the Nintendo NES Switch dock is, and basically how I put it together somewhat, and the finished result, which is here and right behind me. I have to do a video also of removing the yellow from the console, because it's still a little yellow. Other than that, there's little things here and there that I got to touch up and do. I'll break it open again and do something else that I wanted to do in there. I also didn't hook up a 3.0 USB. I will be hooking one of those up, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to get like an Ethernet port or just reutilize the USB 3.0. So I'll be doing that in the future as well on this build. But as of right now, that's how it looks. That's how it's going to be. And thanks for watching. Post in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. I try to answer everybody's questions or comments in the comment section. So if you like this build and you want me to see me do another build, or you just want to do this on your own and you have questions or just anything like that, I try to talk to everybody I can, or everybody that comments if I catch them. And thanks for watching. This is all for one. See you in the next video.